Stephen Mansfield, New York Times bestselling author and speaker.
Doug Tenaple, I'm the creator of Earthworm Jim.
Tweet groups.
I'm Victor Dweck.
Joseph Carter, I'm the Mink Man.
This is Dave Baker from Forged in Fire.
This is Leah Morgan. I'm a comedian, and this is why you should never
Not ever.
Don't waste your time.
Oh, you really should.
listen to those darling, yummy Reverend and the Reprobate.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Reverend and the Reprobate. I'm Lucas Pinkert. I'll be playing the part of the Reverend this afternoon, evening, morning, or good night, wherever it is that you're doing. We've got a couple of special guests.
Wherever it is, we thank you for it.
Yeah.
And we want you to continue watching.
With me, as always, is Dan Gibson, the Reprobate. How are you, sir?
I'm fantastic. And yourself?
Doing well. We've got somebody in the back of the studio, Matt, our forge expert. Matt, give the camera a big wave for you, or for us. I'm assuming that you're doing that because he's in the control room. So Matt is on tonight because he is going to be pumping into our ears expert knowledge about forgeries as we interview three guys.
With expert knowledge.
Yes, forgeries with expert knowledge.
No, of expert knowledge.
Right.
Yes.
I like that.
He's not really an expert, is the
Yeah.
punch.
Oh, yeah, I got it.
I'm mansplaining the joke.
Mansplaining is when a man...
That's how you know it's funny, when you have to.
Explain it.
So
who are our guests today, Lucas?
Tonight on the show, we got three guests. We've got Ben Abbott, Judge of Forged in Fire, David Baker, Judge of Forged in Fire, and Grady Powell, the Forged in Fire host. We talk about Forged in Fire.
A lot of stuff we talk about.
We talk about being able to handle the haters. We play a game that only only Ben and Grady are allowed to participate in.
Yeah, because Dave can't play it.
It's Dave. So we hope you guys enjoy it. Make sure you like, subscribe, ding the little bell down at the bottom, and fasten your seatbelts for the Forged in Fire.
Hold on.
It's a good one. It's a bizarre.
Rock and roll.
All right, Daly. Well, today on our lovely airwaves, we have the trifecta of Forged in Fire. We've got the man himself, David Baker.
The Father, the Son, and the Holy Smelter.
Yeah, the with his new nickname, Forge Daddy.
Yep.
We've got two-time Forged in Fire champion Ben Abbott, who is going to bring some class to this group, and the new host and the personality of Forged in Fire, Grady Powell. How are you guys doing tonight?
Fantastic.
I didn't know that was my job. I thought I was here to lower the tone.
No. You are supposed to bring. You're supposed to bring class.
That's my job.
Yeah.
I left it at home.
Oh, well done. Well done. So I want to start off. We'll lob some softball questions, right?
Yeah.
Ben and Grady, both of y'all have recently had kids. So David, whose baby is cuter?
Dave's new baby is cuter than either of our children.
Okay.
Ask it again.
Hold on, what was the question?
Whose baby's cuter, Ben or Grady's kid?
Oh, wow.
I think that Dave Baker's new baby is cuter than either of our kids.
This is real, because I have, here's these two guys who have literally spent a year locked in small trailers and spending time with, and they both had babies this year. Ben and I have been friends, I think, since the minute we met. And Grady and I met a couple of years ago.
We weren't friends?
No, same thing. We had beers, I don't know, 2 years ago. We got wasted. The thing is I've decided, without their permission or anything else, that I was the self-appointed, non-related uncle. I am crazy Uncle Dave, and that's just how it's going to be. Both children have received hats, because I wear a lot of hats.
My son got a snapback.
Yeah, and his son got a Uzi. So very British.
That's freaking awesome.
An Uzi hat, to be clear, or
not a pistol, not an automatic pistol.
Okay.
My own son is cuter than both of them, but he's also 33 now, so he can talk.
Which one of us is cuter?
Let's not go there.
Okay.
That's just creepy and weird.
Okay.
Yeah. Hey, Dave. Dave, I was expecting you to say that your new baby is cuter than either of our babies.
Yeah.
Oh, well, okay. Now we're
new babies still in vitro.
Yeah.
No, we're just talking about Karen.
Yeah, well, I mean,
This is the mystery lady.
No, we're not going. No.
I would say it's a mystery, but he keeps posting pictures of her online saying,
No, okay,
this
so
is the
it
best
is
company
no
I could ever
mystery
have.
that I have been smoked. Smoted. I've
Smited.
smoked. Okay, so Karen, a woman named Karen Jones came into my life recently. We flirted online for a long time. We've known a lot of the same people for years. Blake show this year, we actually met up. I had no sleep for almost 24 hours, was completely useless, and went home thinking I have blown this deal. This is, she's so far out of my league, and I just blew the entire deal. Well, she followed up, and I went down to see her in Alabama, and she came up to see me here in Connecticut, and we are an item. She's an amazing woman.
They were official after a day.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, congratulations. Congratulations
for
Daddy. Forge Daddy.
Horse trainer. She's done Wild West shows for years. She's a blade maker. Actually, K-Bar's throwing knife is something she designed.
Really?
She's working on learning silversmithing, and so she's very much just an amazing person to be around. So, and the boys met her this past weekend. So
does that mean she could get me a discount on my Cutco kitchen knives since she works with K-Bar?
Really? Cutco? K-Bar makes Cutco?
No, Cutco makes K-Bar.
Cutco makes K-Bar?
Yeah, Cutco makes K-Bar now.
13-year-olds going door to door selling K-Bar now?
Yes, that's pretty awesome. You can have this set of kitchen knives and the knife that the Marines use. They needed to find a way to get the husband to say, yeah, you know what? We'll buy $4,000 worth of kitchen knives.
You can cook dinner with this, and if you have
an intruder,
home invasion problem.
Well,
yeah, it's that way.
Well, that leads to a good question: that should the mystery woman who no longer has mystery, no longer shrouded in mystery, should she come on the show as a contestant, would you recuse yourself as judge?
Well, yeah, that's just that. Yeah, no,
that's not happening.
No,
I'd be a judge.
Yeah,
you're so judgmental. No, that's not going to happen. Like I said, we're just starting a life together, and she's an amazing person to be around. We laugh a lot. We enjoy the same things, and what you are going to see is when we come back and start filming our next season. Is when I'm around her, I turn into an absolute mushmouth. I adopt her Alabama accent.
Yes.
Wonderful.
And I start talking like this. So no one's going to be able to understand me for the rest of this season.
He's got a chameleon tongue.
That's amazing. Well,
what other accents have you picked up in your life?
Yeah, because you did the Southern accent for us last time when you were giving us directions across the bridge.
Whitestone Bridge.
Yeah. The Whitestone. Yeah, the Whitestone. Oh my God, I'm gonna die when I go underneath this thing. Yeah, it's a thing. I mean, Brooklyn. When I was in Brooklyn, there was a butcher I always went to in Little Italy, and one day I went in and I said, thanks for everything you've been doing, and it's been great. He's like, what? I said, No. I'm so into the Alabama. I can't do Brooklyn. But he thought I was from Brooklyn, and I said, no, I'm not.
You're not from the neighborhood?
Yeah, I'm not from the hood. I'm like, yeah, no. I just want somebody to cut me like a few of those. I want the salami, the spicy stuff. I want some sausage. I want give me 2 rolls with that, and
throw some corned beef in there too.
And he's like, where are you from? I'm from California. You're not from California. Yeah, I'm from California. No, I'm not from California. So yeah, it's a thing. I don't think about it. It just happens.
You just pick up the accents.
That's That's pretty cool.
I have been
I have
fascinated.
to practice them. I don't pick them up naturally.
Yeah, there's a lot of things you need to practice.
Yeah.
Their broadcasting should be on the list for both of us to practice. So I've got a question for Ben, because this is something that I see pop up in like the online forums and things like that, is where is Ben Abbott's accent from? What is Ben Abbott's accent?
Yeah. So I'm originally from England. I'm from a little place called Worcester, and my mom was from up north, and my dad was from down south. And we left the country when I was 3 years old, so I never really developed a Worcester accent that anyone would recognize. And my mother's accent was nothing like where she's from in Lancashire, because she moved when she was young and had more of the Queen's English kind of an accent. And my dad's accent from Plymouth was not too far off of an American accent, to be honest, down there. So it was this big melting pot of English accents that when I moved to America, I only had my mom and dad to give me any kind of accent, or, so it's an English accent, but it's not a regional, and like no one could put their finger on where I'm from.
Oh,
So
I can verify that no one can put their finger on where you're from, because one of the most recent things I heard was somebody was like, "Where's Ben Abbott's accent from?" They're like, he grew up with Elon Musk, right? That they're both from South Africa. And I was like, that is definitely not true, but I will be bringing that up.
Orange Catholic.
No, I've never been to South Africa, but sometimes I get Irish. People think I'm Irish, but no.
You've got a very Irish look about you. You look like you could be in a mob movie.
Well, being that you're from England, would you ever consider yelling out "exterminate" when you're testing out a new weapon on George?
Like a Dalek?
Thank you. We were talking about this earlier, and he was like, "They're not gonna know what Daleks are."
You win.
I knew it.
I've been watching Doctor Who since I was a little kid.
Yep.
Absolutely. The next Doctor Who episode I see will be the first.
Who's your favorite Doctor?
It would have to be the first one. I forget his name. Not the first one, but my first one. The goofy curly haired.
Christopher Lloyd.
No. No. He had the scarf.
Yeah, the one from the 70s.
Hold on, I'm on it.
His name.
Christopher Lloyd was my first Doctor. This is the first guy that I ever called Doc, was Christopher Lloyd.
Doc.
Yeah. Which I heard recently somebody said he might be playing the live action role of Morty from Rick and Morty, which would be terrible. Or no, yeah, it'd be Rick. Yeah. Yeah.
They did a teaser.
That doesn't mean he's alive.
Grady, how old are you?
Do they?
I'll be 34 or 30. 35. I think I'm 35 in a week.
Grady's the youngest guy on this podcast. That's why he doesn't
more
know.
than Colton?
That's why he doesn't know. No wonder he doesn't know who Doc is.
Grady, do you know who the Daleks are?
Wow. I think that's, man, now I feel old. And Grady seems much more accomplished in life than either of us.
How do you think I feel?
Well, Forge Daddy, I'm not sure how you feel. Now I am curious.
Grandpa.
I'm curious. So this picture has popped up.
Tom Baker.
Yeah, Tom Baker. That's the guy. Yep.
So this picture's popped up a couple of times. We'll put it up on the screen and post. It is a very rugged picture of Dave with the name Forge Daddy on it, and you've replied to this Facebook post. How do you feel about being the Forge Daddy, Dave? And is that going to be an official nickname? Is that something you and Karen are going to use?
License plate.
What was my comment?
I'll find out.
You call me Daddy.
I'm on it.
I said, yeah, I'm the Forge Daddy. Don't make me put you in timeout.
Was that what it was?
Yeah, I think so.
Children.
I see vanity plates in Dave's future.
Forge Daddy.
What did you say, Ben?
I said I see vanity plates on your truck in your future.
Yep.
I'm in. I'll put $20 towards Dave's vanity plates.
Me too.
There you go.
For it for 10 years. GEADY.
Yeah, but you need to put it on the bike. It would need to go in the Indian.
You got to be known for something.
Forge Daddy.
That's better than a lot of the other things I've been known for.
Forge Daddy is a pretty awesome name.
Speaking of things that Dave has been known for, We have a.
Wait, hold on.
Okay, yeah, yep.
You've got two other guys you've never had on the show,
right?
And you're jumping on my case.
No, not at all. We designed a game specifically for Ben and Grady.
Yep.
We wanna play a game with Ben and Grady
because I agree. We have focused too much on you.
Yeah. This show is not about Dave. This show is about Dave's friends.
I need to pour a drink for this because I have a feeling it's a drinking game.
Is this like the newly judged game?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So this
newly judged.
This game is it works a little like Jeopardy. So you have to answer your answers have to come in the form of a question.
Mm-hmm.
And Ben, whenever you buzz in, you're gonna say Dave, and then Grady, when you buzz in, you're gonna say Lane.
Okay?
Lane.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
He doesn't even know this. He doesn't know the reference.
No, that's for those of you who don't know.
Remind you, I'm 35.
That's
I have
Dave's.
no idea what the reference is.
That's Dave's middle name is Lane.
No, it's not. It's a working name.
Okay, it's his working lane. His working name. That's correct. Yes,
Wait,
David.
You've got a working name?
Yes, David Lane Baker is my,
You told me this.
Screen Actors Guild name.
So-
You did tell me this when we were getting drunk the first time we met.
All right. So
What is a working name? I don't know what that is.
It's like a stage name for a stripper.
Oh, no, that's not my stripper name. No, my stripper name is my first pet and the street that I lived on. So it's Sydney Shaker. So,
David Baker.
No, Sydney Shaker is my stripper name.
mine is Holly Saddleback.
That's pretty good.
Oh, wow. That's got some implications, doesn't it?
I don't like that at all. We're gonna play another
I don't
game.
follow rules. I don't follow rules. My name is Brad Naylor.
Well, hold on. What's the first name?
It's your first pet, right?
Okay.
Or your middle name, and then the street that you lived on.
Now, your
I'm
first
not doing
name and the street you lived on.
Mine's Buster Forrest.
Mine. It's pretty masculine, at least.
Yeah.
Mine is Gumby.
Mine might be Adore.
I can't think.
Oh my gosh.
Back in 1996.
We're gonna not Google that.
I was credited as Man in Brown Shoes. But I'm kidding. I've never done.
Okay.
Okay,
Never.
so the game works like this. When Ben wants to buzz in, you say Dave, and when you buzz in, you
just
gotta
make it
say
Baker.
Lane. Yeah, we'll go with Lane. It's fun.
Okay.
So here's the deal. You have to whenever you come up with the answer, it's got to be in the form of a question, and the name of the game is called It's Dave. All right. So this forged in fire judge.
Did you get some? Did you get a drink?
This forged in
Dave,
fire.
who's Dave?
Aspirin is what I need.
This forged in fire
Dave, who's
judge.
Dave?
Possibly.
Yeah. So the name of the game is It's Dave. This forged in fire judge was a dancer in the smash hit Grease 2.
Lane.
Dave, who is Dave?
Okay. Yeah.
Hold on. I said Lane first.
Yeah, Grady.
I've been saying Dave, who is Dave for the past 5 minutes.
Dave was Dave.
Grady,
I know
go ahead.
Ben can't dance.
And nobody wants to see Dave.
Oh, snap.
For the reference of what it was that I was. He said he started off with which 45, whatever.
Yes,
Fine.
it was. So
That was correct, I believe.
what did he say? I couldn't hear.
He said Lane, who was Dave.
Yes. It was Dave.
That's it. Well, you were right. I'm wrong.
Yes, David
the
Baker. David Baker was in Grease 2, and for about 3 seconds, and he knocks a kid's books out of his hand, and then runs over the kid's books. A kid he called in our last episode a dweeb. So some dweeb got off the bus. All right, Danley, you got the
All right,
next
the
question.
next question. This forged and fired judge was pulled over by an African American police officer after making a gesture to the Confederate flag.
Dave, who is Dave?
Grady again for the win.
Grady, what you got?
That was funny, Bill.
Yeah, he did it. He said it.
Yeah. It's David. Okay.
Yeah, you definitely should have gotten a drink.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's see. This forged and fired judge had a role in the crowd-funded cinema masterpiece, The Hunted.
Lane,
Dave,
who's
who is
Dave?
Dave?
Okay, that one goes to Ben.
It's like giving
That one goes to Ben.
This whole game is it's Dave.
Correct.
That's the name of the game.
But that was not in the form of a question.
All right, so it's 2 Grady to 1 Ben.
All right. This Forged in Fire judge played Herman Cortez in America. Fact versus fiction. You got it. But we have to finish the question. I don't remember how Jeopardy works.
Yeah, you got to finish the question.
In American on American Heroes Network.
Dave, who's Dave?
Okay,
There you go.
that one. So now we're at 2 and 2. All right, so now
What network was that on?
the American Heroes Network.
It was, huh?
It was.
Oh, I thought it was a History Channel thing.
No,
I don't even know what I'm working for anymore.
you have no idea how much research we had to do for a game called Who is Dave?
No one knows who I am. Trust me.
Okay, do we have a Forged in Fire Who is Dave?
That just went straight to IMDb, didn't you?
No, this
no.
this was from Facebook, and you confirmed it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we wouldn't do anything that was unconfirmed.
This is on the fan page this week.
Yes.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah. Okay, so
Do we have a tiebreaker, or do we do
no,
more?
this is the Daily Double. Pew, 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 pew. Daily Double. So this is for next point wins. All right, this Forged in Fire judge was kicked out of a castle by a Forged in Fire fan.
Dave, who's Dave?
All right, and Ben Abbott for the win.
Got it. Good
Yay.
job.
Choo.
You got
Well done.
just like Who's Last anyway. These points don't matter.
Totally should have thrown in something about Doug or something.
I went to the Alhambra in Spain. I didn't have a ticket, and somehow I wound up walking through a back door, and some guy goes, "Oh, David Baker, where's your ticket? Bye-bye."
I did think that is unbelievable. If it were me, but come on, I got you. I'll bring you in.
Well,
Listen.
apparently they have a little bit more integrity than we do.
Serious about his job.
Yeah.
When I was back on the street.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about Forged in Fire.
Go ahead.
Yeah, there's a lot that's gone on the last couple of seasons. We do have new host Grady Powell.
Yeah, that's
with
the
us.
big news. The big news is new hosts.
That is the big news, and we've got some questions that we wanted to talk to really the group of y'all about, because that has been.
Grady Powell.
Yes, Dave, you get your first point. Actually, since he didn't answer in the form of the question, Ben, would you like this one?
No.
So the transitions had a huge impact, but also the feel of the show has changed, and dare I say it, it's become more fun because Grady's personality really comes out in the show. I think, like, when I get to work in the forge with my brother, who's a blacksmith, I'm kind of in awe of the stuff that he does and how he's able to make metal. And then there's something that like happens between it, being an ingot to then it becomes this, bar, and now all of a sudden it's a knife. And initially it doesn't even look like
acid.
A knife. Yeah, there's so many cool parts of it, and Grady sort of gives us this new element of like what it would be like to just be a kid on the set and just getting to watch everything
That's Grady.
happen. Yeah. So I've got to say that's been an awesome experience. It's changed the way that we've watched it. Now I have to watch it whenever my wife is at work because my wife thinks Grady's cute. So that is not allowed in the house. But what has, there he goes with the hair. With the hair.
I got a more beautiful baby than Ben.
So
Before these guys get started, and I'm sure they will, it's when you're doing a show like this, and we're in our 8th season, shows evolve, shows change and evolve, especially competition shows. And one of the things that's been a real joy is Grady has brought back a certain
Ignorance.
I was going to say innocence, but I'll go with ignorance.
Ignorance is not an insult. I didn't know what they're talking about.
There's
Ben Abbott is so happy right now.
What I see Grady's job is being the voice of every man, asking the questions that the audience would ask. Ben and I often get into technical discussions that go down rabbit holes. They never make the cut because they go on for, he's tapping his watch. They go on for minutes. They never make the cut. So Grady's brought back a certain innocence to the show, or
I'm the voice of, like you said, I'm the voice of ignorance.
He's got a certain je ne sais quoi.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means, but when I was cast for this, and I had the conversations with Dan, our producer, and Fonz, the director. One of the things I made very clear to them is I had no idea about bladesmithing. I didn't have the slightest idea of the process. And said, perfect. Now, on the other hand, I am a sponge. I've always been a sponge. I love to learn. I love to go just research the most ridiculous things possible just to expand my knowledge. And then sitting next to these guys who go on for 15 minutes down the rabbit hole on the thermal cycling and quenching process, I absorbed that. So the hardest part of my job, I would say, has been continuing to be the voice of the viewers who don't know, because I sit there for 5 hours, like 5 to 8 hours.
Say after 49 shows now, he's absorbed a lot of information, and he's good at absorbing that information, so he understands it. So I think honestly the questions have gotten better because you can ask a more
I could use the correct vocabulary now.
Well, but you ask a more direct question to hit the point, the salient point that we're trying to make.
I think the big thing that's good about the way that you're dealing with stuff, Grady, is even though you know, you still aren't leading the witness. You're still asking.
I was doing that in the beginning, though. Once I started learning stuff, that's what made it so difficult. Is I've become more of an actor at times, acting like I don't know.
I mean, it's different. I mean, you've been asking questions that you want the answer to be known, right? As opposed to trying to prove to people how much you know, or trying to test us because one of us one week said this answer and one of us the next week is saying a different answer, and they're super conditional answers. But then, like, it's that became no fun. This is fun. You're asking questions that are.
Here's the key to that. The anthrax vaccine. My short-term memory is absolute garbage. So you may think I know what I'm asking. I don't have a clue.
I mean, I understand you said that before, but I'm talking about the things you actually do know the answer to, and you don't just state the statement in question form. You ask.
Nor does it become a game of who knows what. I mean, Ben, Jay, Doug, myself, we are. I think we are experts in what we do, and we each have subtle differences in how we do what we do. Ben and I might not, do things the same way. We might wind up with the same results, but the trip to get there is a little bit different. In my situation, Doug and I might use weapons a different way, but at the same time, we wind up at the same, trying to communicate the same idea about how certain weapons or historical weapons are used. So I think Grady's doing a really good job of directing traffic, which is, I mean, you got three guys.
Full-time job.
You got 3 guys on the panel who all think we know what the hell we're talking about. And, just keeping us from talking over one another is a chore.
I can't shake the image that right now, Grady and Dave, you guys look like Rick and Morty. Grady with with being the everyman.
I just want to say in the nicest possible way, thanks.
With all due respect. With all due respect.
That's like apologizing and saying but.
It's
after the apology.
Yeah, that's true.
I think you nailed it.
Well done.
And I can add that to my list of cool things people have said to me.
I said, but I meant it in the nicest way.
Yeah, received.
Non-physical, but the nicest way.
No. Just so you know, that's going on my trophy shelf. No. See, I did my job just then and completely destroyed, derailed where you were going. That's my role.
So Grady's responded well to the new atmosphere with the show. He's done a great job of absorbing information. One of the things I also have really admired about him is the way that he's responded to critics. because he's gotten on to like, and I mean this sincerely.
Wait. The way he's responded to critics online
Is that what you said?
Yes. Yeah. So that's actually been something that I think has made him really endearing to the Forged in Fire fandom, is that he didn't come out with, a blowtorch and just try to go scorched earth on everybody. He made a very succinct statement at the beginning that there were going to be some growing pains with any new host, that change has its own set of issues to work through. So, yeah. So what has that been like as you've now been on 50 episodes of the show today? I believe it was the 50th that you recorded. Have the fans warmed up to you, and what has that been like for you as you've stepped into this role?
So that's a good question.
Thank you.
First of all, coming into this production, into a hosting role, this is the first time I've ever had to do that, had that responsibility, and had to be the voice of a show. Guys, I've been shot at, I've been blown up, I've been not attacked, but I've been very, very close to grizzly bears. This is the scariest ever done in my entire life. Hands down. Next to ask my wife to marry me.
Fair.
Yeah, so you bear bullets and all that. It's not personal.
No. But I knew coming into this that Forged in Fire has a massive and very, very loyal following, and that's why it's gone on for now 8 seasons, going on 9. And coming into it, I knew there were going to be struggles. Will was a very big personality in the show. He was there for a very long time, and with such a loyal long-term following, people get used to things. Nobody likes change. People don't like change unless you're a psychopath, and then you love change. But coming into it, and what do you mean by that?
That's why David changed his middle
I'm
name.
worried about my personal health.
I don't even know where I was going.
Change is hard.
It was going to be hard, no matter what. And I love everybody that I've worked with our production company ITV, and with History Channel and A&E, but I was never announced. I got one 20-second commercial where they called me Maestro, and then just threw me to the lions.
Whatever, man. I had to sign Jay Nielsen's face for the past 4 seasons. They never took new pictures ever since I got on the show.
Hey, Ben, I'm the one who got us new cards to sign for fans. I was sick of signing over Will Willis's face, but it's not the fans' fault that there was a change, and we can't be upset with them for being upset with change.
Yeah.
Especially when there was no transition whatsoever. So I knew there was going to be a lot of flack, but I can't say that it wasn't difficult. It was really, really hard.
Imagine how the new Darren felt on Bewitched.
Will, do you know what Bewitched? Or sorry, Grady, do you know what Bewitched is?
Yeah. I watched it right after Rugrats. Thank you very much.
Rugrats was a great show. I miss Rugrats. Are you about to eat? What are you doing? So,
you guys are professional.
We this is just wonderful.
Lucas called Grady Will.
Yeah. You just called me Will?
No, that didn't happen.
No. He said you have a strong will.
Will you fight?
No, you have a strong will.
I've got nothing against Will. When I was asked to take part in the show, the first thing I did was I went. I don't know him personally, but I went and wrote him a message, and we conversed, and I thanked him for being part of such a successful program, and he helped build it. And along with these guys, he helped build it. I don't know him. I don't have any personal qualms with him. So man to man, I was like, if I were in your shoes, I would be happy for you. And that was kind of a leading statement, hoping that he would be happy for me.
That's clever.
But yeah,
you got crickets.
It was pretty difficult. It was pretty difficult. I got smashed. I got absolutely smashed by people for a while. Hated me. I got called Fat Captain America quite a few times. This
really?
That's U.S. agent is Fat Captain America. U.S. agent.
What did I call him? What was it? It was the big chin, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
The crimson chin.
It was hard. I mean, it was really hard, but I try to live my life with some semblance of grace, and I'm not going to ever give up. But there were times when I thought about it. I went to my wife and I was like, I don't know if I'm going to have a job tomorrow. Basing it solely off of the fans, because they're the reason this show is going. And the fan group is the biggest voice. They're the most loyal fans. So hearing how many people hated me. ISIS didn't hate me as much.
And here's the thing. Is he's going, oh my God, can you believe this? And I'm like, dude, haters are the best. Haters never miss the show. Haters watch every single week, so they have something to hate. These are our most loyal fans, the haters. I have a list of haters. I have so many blocked people on Facebook.
Is that what's on your wall?
Dude, there's got to be a better way to make a living than. There's got to be an easier way to make a living than hater baiting.
They give me drive. They give me reason to be better. I feel like we are never at our peak. We always can be better than we are, whether it's in your relationships, in your work, or whatever it is, or in your hobbies. And that gave me a huge kick in the ass that I wasn't perfect. I might have the coolest job in the world. It's easy, not something I ever saw myself doing. But if you get complacent, you can end up with a really big head and think you're the best thing on that best thing since sliced bread, or what do they say?
Yeah, I mean, there was a whole lot of backlash when I started on the show. There was a lot of people discussing me, the fan group discussing me when I first came on the show, like, bring back Jason Knight. Where's Jay Nielsen? Who's this dude? Blah, blah, blah. I mean, luckily I just stopped listening. So I don't know how it goes anymore on fan group.
Yeah, I think that's what a lot of people say is you just don't go online. Don't. David Baker doesn't. I mean, David Baker doesn't take that advice. You definitely are active.
He drinks whiskey and goes at him.
Yeah, no joke.
My dad had a saying. I think I told you guys. Never, always dive into the deep end.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because if you dive into the shallow end, you break your face. It's a simple thing.
Yeah.
My dad used to put water in the pool.
Really good. He really did. He also smacked me on the back of the head and said, "Help different." Every time I said, "I'm trying to help different." And the thing is in the world we live in and in the job that we have, social media is a huge part of this. Our interactions with, our ability to interaction with fans is no longer them coming to an event where we can sign autographs. It's a daily thing where people kind of follow your life. And I try to offer up as much of that as I can without allowing people to get behind the curtain. And I do it because I don't have a job without people enjoying the show.
Mm-hmm.
So I try to make sure that people don't only enjoy the show, they enjoy getting a little background on us and what we do and how we play and what we do in life. But there's always this, for me, there's always this hard wall that you don't get to go behind. And there's people who've tried to cross that line, and I have to literally say, look, I get it. I'm glad you're a fan of the show, but I don't know you. Yeah. You don't know me. I know that I am in your living room every single Wednesday night for an hour. Or anytime you want to tune into the show, I'm there talking directly to you. But that doesn't mean we know one another. We're not buddies. It doesn't mean we won't become buddies. There are fans of the show who I've met and I hang out with now. And it's because they were fans of the show. But at the same time, you have to protect your family. It's a weird existence. It's a different world.
Yeah, no doubt. And Ben kind of hit on something that I wanted to ask about is that you kind of get this sort of treatment that Grady has gotten seasonally. Because if people don't know how the show is shot, and you guys it's been incredible to me how many new fans you're getting every season. That there are some of us that have been like from day one. As soon as we saw the first, commercial for Forged in Fire, I was like, I know what I'm doing with this night every, from now until the show goes off the air. But you're continually getting new fans, and so some of the same questions are asked about the shooting schedule and things like that. And then the same question is asked every season: what happened to Jay? What happened to Ben?
Right.
Did they replace one another? And this is something that's been going on. And then
why are they so mean to that skeleton?
Yeah, and then all the criticism starts again. So this seems to be something that you handle, or that happens seasonally. Is that something that you've had to address, or is it something you just completely ignore now?
I mean, in a way, I'm like Grady. I figure the best response is to just do my job as well as I can, and if people don't like me because of me, that's fine. That's their right. And if they don't like the information that I try to put onto the show, well, they're wrong. And so
very good.
It's but like I said, I really don't pay much attention to it. I don't know the last time I've read anything on Facebook or whatever. And I get some comments on my Insta feed, when are you coming back or whatever. And I'll are you coming back, whatever. And I tell them, there's all sorts of little side gigs that we do just by being on this show. Like, I'll show up at the shopping mall and be all like, grab Thor's hammer, what a savings, and cut some like ribbon or something. So,
that's awesome.
Check out your local mall.
Forged and Fire knives.
Yeah, and barbecue sauce.
Yeah.
There's Forged and Fire guy barbecue sauce. Is that what you said?
There's flip flops too if you're in the market. Yes.
Yeah,
I'm always
flip flops.
I'm always looking for a good flip.
So
there's
a number of products.
I am on an iPhone cover.
You are on an iPhone cover. I have seen the Forged Daddy iPhone cover.
Dang it, I was about to say.
No, Forged Daddy iPhone cover hasn't happened yet.
I'm going to be on my computer for a couple minutes.
Well, so I don't want to touch into areas that you guys would find yourselves in trouble for talking about.
Yeah, it's a no square.
But you've seen a lot of products, and Dave, you've commented on some online where people are using the name Forged in Fire, or clips from the show or things like that have nothing to do with the show. They don't have anything to do with the licensing agreements that you guys have. What's that like, seeing somebody try to take the popularity of your show and use it for their own gain?
Well, before Dave jumps in, that a lot of this stuff is licensed through History Channel. It's just we sign away the right to our likeness, and they can use the film, any film that they take, in any way they want. But
that's just how it goes with any production.
Yeah. I haven't seen my face
next year. It's going to be great.
I haven't seen my face next to a knife or any kind of like tacit endorsement from my image. They just use the name Forged in Fire.
Now, I've had my image stolen by other companies that are selling, junk Chinese knives, Pakistani knives, whatever, and they'll use like an apple slice from the show or me cutting something from the show, and it's in their commercial. And what I love is that if I see that, someone will say, "Hey, is this you?" And I'm like, "Oh, screw that." I'll put a notice up saying, "Fry these people," and the fans of the show will have it shut down within minutes. Which is, that kind of fan loyalty is fabulous, and it's why I'm always trying to give back. It's why I'm always trying to, allow a certain level of this is what's going on in my life to share with the fans, because I don't get to do this without them. My job, if people don't tune into the show, I don't get to do the show. And if I could build a job for myself, it would be this show. I get to play with weapons, build weapons, watch other people build weapons, hang out with that guy.
Well, if you want to support Dave and the guys
Actually,
go.
I really like hanging out with his wife. His wife is fabulous. Great. Meg is the best.
Well, go to historystore.com and get yourself a pair of flip-flops. They are real. I have found them.
Fire flip-flops?
Yep.
It
Forged in
seems
fire.
silly. Like, it's like you go to NASCAR, you could buy a NASCAR visor, or you could buy a pair of NASCAR Viper glasses, or whatever the heck. It's a testament to how well the show's doing. They're able to sell the most seemingly ridiculous things with our name.
But some of the products are.
We get an email going, "Hey, did you design those knives? What knives? The Forged in Fire knives. The what? The Forged in Fire knives. Available at Walmart for $29.95. Really? On sale this week for $11.
My mother-in-law.
Yep, it's a bestseller.
Some of the products are actually smart, though.
Yeah,
my wife. I bought my
ahead.
mother-in-law a hand-forged kitchen knife for Mother's Day or her birthday or something, and she uses the Forged in Fire knife.
Nice. Ben, you were saying that some of the
Yeah, I mean, some of the products, like the Forged in Fire products, seem like they're going to be ridiculous, but the flip-flops are actually steel-toed, so you can use them in your work.
There you go.
Now, in case you meet someone named Bill, you get to kick him.
So
Bill it. We'll change it enough.
So
and we'll cut it from the episode.
Ben, I've always been curious. What was it like being a two-time champion that then comes on as a judge? What was your rapport like with the judges after being there twice? And was there a little bit of feeling like you needed to prove yourself or to be on par with those guys at all?
Yeah. So, when I was on the show for the Champion of Champions battle, it was all pretty surreal to me, being up against actual, full-time bladesmiths. I was still an engineer at Caltech and was making a lot of knives, and I was selling knives, but I wasn't full-time. I hadn't jumped in completely into the profession yet. So I was on vacation in Paris when the old producer called and asked if I wanted to be a judge. And it was just, I was blown away. I mean, this is the weirdest thing ever, So I said yes, and I come on because Jay wanted some time off, and so they brought me in to fill up some time that he needed off. And I got there, and everyone was really nice. Everyone was super cool. Like all of the PAs and producers, tell us anything you want. What do you want? Some like almonds or bubbly water in your trailer?
Starburst.
Yeah. I want M&Ms with one of the M's scratched off, like, whatever. So it was really cool. But I think that the thing that sticks in my mind the most was the very first episode I did was the second ever Champion of Champions battle. So they had 5 Smiths show up, each of them bringing a knife with them, and then I was to test all 5 and give feedback on each knife, and then declare somebody to kick off. And so they were like, all right, and go. I'm like, go what? What do you mean go? They're like, go. Grab a knife and smack on stuff. I'm like, well, how hard? Where do you want me to? Just the log, man. What's the big deal? Just you're a professional judge. Pick up a knife and slap a log. I'm like, okay. Now, like in my mind, TV is TV, right? And in my mind, what's going to happen after that is me and Doug and Dave are going to go back into the room and huddle and come up with a strategy and discuss all the nuances of this knife. And I'm going to come back and pretty much say what we all decided. Oh, no. It's like, now stand there and give feedback. Like, do what now?
There's no downtime.
They didn't feed me anything. They didn't give me any idea what was coming because in their mind, they just wanted to see, like, let's see if this dude knows what's up. And it was terrifying. And my voice is wavering. My hands are shaking. It was ridiculous.
He rubbed his hands together for about 5 minutes.
No, Grady, I'm a professional. I would never do that.
Well done.
But yeah, I mean, it was terrifying. It was really weird. I'll never forget that whole, like, I didn't feel like I was thrown to the wolves, but I did feel like I was on my own. Like, now's your time, do something or don't.
Yeah, sink or swim. I have wondered that if if there's and Dave has told us previously, there's not really multiple takes. What you see is what happened. But that is something I always wonder on reality shows. Do they have like you watch Pawn Stars or something, and I won't compare the two shows, but I am right now.
I've been on both. So.
What was that?
I've been on both.
You've been on Pawn Stars?
2 episodes.
Produced by the same company. They liked a little bit of nepotism there.
Yeah, Will did a couple of episodes. I did a couple episodes.
Wow.
Will's an expert on the Enigma machine.
Yeah.
Were you an expert on? They brought you in to verify something.
Yeah, I evaluated a couple swords. One was a Chris Spear, and the other one was a Napoleonic saber.
So no Scottish
They
basket
wanted
hills.
me to do a couple others, but if a maker is still alive, if you're you make these glasses and you're alive, I can't tell you what the price of these glasses are. You're alive. You're the guy who made them. You set your price.
Once you die, they're worth $1 million.
So yeah, well, but one of the
1 million.
items that they wanted me to price, it was a sword cane that had some kind of cue ball on it. The maker's still alive. He still makes these things, so he sets the price. I literally just said, I can't do that. Call him. He'll tell you what it's worth. Have him come in. Oh no, but you're this. Yeah, I can't tell somebody else what their stuff is worth.
Can I interject with a little bit of? I've been on quite a few reality shows outside of the competition of this one. This is not the most. Anything with a cash prize is legally bound by federal law to be 100% accurate, and there's no fluff in there. But if you don't have a prize, they can do whatever they want.
Yeah.
And that's what Grady learned on his first season on The Real World with MTV.
Yeah, they did whatever they wanted to him.
Oh no! Oh no! Am I that guy?
Looks more like Jersey Shore. We got some bombs. No grenades.
Yeah. Okay, Ben, I have a question for you. We've watched nearly every episode of the show, I think, and then
I haven't watched season 3, episode 9.
Oh well, there you go.
Oh yeah, no.
Get on it.
Juicy.
So I'm curious about how you test the weapons. Right, Dave's talked to us a lot about the way that he tests, but there's something that, and my wife is a psychologist, and so she notices all these really weird things. Okay, and it's why she's like, we should talk more, and I'm like, no, honey, honey, my head shrunk. You can text me. So
Ben Abbott's on.
Yeah.
Ben is on.
So one of the things she points out is that Ben always grabs his chest before he goes to test a weapon. Is that particular movement, is that something that you do in order to brace yourself for the test that you're doing? Is that a way that you were taught?
Explain this. No. Ben, early on, Ben was stabbed in the left nipple, so he likes to cover that with
Oh,
no, so
in all honesty, like I can understand that. Yeah, I had a double mastectomy last year, so I can understand the need to do that. No.
Disappointing that Dave was not as abreast of the situation.
Yeah, so I mean, it comes from two different places. One, I'm in the SCA and I did a lot of sword fighting, and so my left hand was often on a shield, and so it was kind of static as I was fighting with my right hand, sort of around and over it. So then when I started swinging knives and swords one-handed on the show, I just was kind of keeping it out of the way. So I just keep it there against my ribs, just so that it doesn't flail about, so there's no chance of me nicking my hand or whatever. It just kind of just keeps it out of the way, and that's really about it.
That makes sense. You don't want to be like Ricky Bobby, where you just like don't know what to do. He's hacking with this one, and this one's just off doing its own thing.
I stopped listening after stabbed himself in the left nipple. That's the answer to me.
I still think the nipple.
So did everyone watching this show.
Sam's going to punch me tomorrow morning. I hope you understand that.
Well, good.
Hey, it makes good TV.
It does.
That's what matters.
He punches me a lot these days. When Ben and Heather first got together, he turned into a giant mush puddle. He was like melting ice cream, this guy. He was so in love. So every time he said something all gushy and mushy, or she called, and he went, and turned into a puddle. I punched him in the arm. Well, payback's.
That's how you can tell true love is the amount of ice cream that melts.
Yep. That's
the amount of bruises you're willing to put up with.
That's exactly right. And just public shaming of, you said you were never going to do this. And like, yeah, well, she's awesome, so whatever.
Yeah.
Yep.
How about a question from, well, we'll just go into controlled rowdiness then.
Well, what is your question from?
How do you forge an ice pick? This is not my question.
No, this is so stupid.
This is not my question. This is from Colton.
Yes, our producer Colton wants to know.
I would tell you if I came up with this question.
He literally said, he goes, can you ask him how to forge an ice?
I made an ice pick, and I don't forge.
I imagine it would be
wasn't
hard
so
to
much an
forge
ice pick as it was a tip.
Nice.
It's iced tea and vodka.
Great.
Oh,
there you go. Colton, that's how you forge an ice. Iced tea and vodka.
That's how you.
And you shave down a toothbrush in prison, and then you got it.
Use it as a shiv.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. Get a chainsaw file and a 4-inch grinder, and just sharpen the chainsaw file. You will have a lovely ice pick.
Can you make a Scottish basket hilt like that?
Yes, actually you can. A friend of mine named.
Here we go. This is going to be a made up name.
You need a very big chainsaw file for that.
Wait. Well, Grady,
This is what is it? Dave.
Yeah, this is the Forge Daddy.
Forge Daddy, king of workaround.
Paul McDonald is a sword maker in Scotland. He's in Edinburgh. He's one of the finest basket hilt sword makers that I know. And he does not have a 72-inch belt sander or anything. He buys and tempers bar stock and does stock removal, but he does it with like an 8-inch or 10-inch grinding wheel. So yes, you can make a basket tilt that way.
That's good.
Every time we've had Dave on the show, he's talked about his infatuation with the Scottish basket hilt.
Mm-hmm.
And
how many times a day does he say basket hilt?
6.
That's what I thought.
He hits his quota. So as we enter in, we're gonna.
Under the bus here, it's really
we end all of our episodes with a segment called Controlled Rowdiness, where we just ask you guys some rapid fire questions. Dave has told us, you just answer with the first thing that comes to your head. Dave's told us that his favorite sword from the show and his favorite sword he's infatuated with over the last really 13 months has been the Scottish basket hilt. Ben, what is it for you? What is your favorite blade?
The Sutton Hoo sword.
What was it? I didn't catch that.
The Sutton Hoo sword, the one that I made for the take home.
Oh, okay.
Sutton
Hoo sword.
Nice.
Yeah, it's been something I've really been infatuated with since I was a little guy, and I was really excited to have the opportunity to make it.
Nice. Grady, what about you, sir?
Mine does not come from experience. Well, it comes from experience, but not so much building it. When you become a Green Beret, you get awarded the sweet French hat, but then you also get what's called the Yarlborough. They're all serialized. It's the Special Forces gift knife, the Yarlborough knife.
Very.
It just means something to me.
Yeah, absolutely. That makes sense.
Where were each of you when you heard that Joe Rogan got COVID?
Oh my gosh.
In my part.
I was driving to work.
Joe Rogan got COVID?
He got COVID, and then
Dave found out just now.
Dave was right here.
Yeah, he seems to be.
Yeah, but he's
doing
he's
fine.
taking a good flu cocktail, right?
Yeah, he's no problem. He's got I'm trying to remember what it is. All the different tinctures that he takes. There's the mushrooms that he takes and the alpha brain.
all I know is he's healthy.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
wait. Joe Rogan.
Unless you look at the CNN,
The guy with the
but
bangs. Joe Rogan.
he has no hair.
Yeah, he's a.
So
But
so
he
the
needs
other
to
thing
have
is that
bangs, right?
the nice
Yeah,
side
but he
effect
was
is
doing
though
it
that he
for
has no horseworms in him anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
He's horseworm free and
He's horseworm
COVID
free.
soon to be.
It's made for humans. This is all right. So we come from very
Horse
different.
now made for humans.
different views.
I believe in science. He doesn't.
Ivermectin was made for humans, my bud.
I don't know what we're talking
It's one. It's one.
There is an FDA approved ivermectin for which the inventor won the Nobel Peace Prize in 2015.
Our medics carried ivermectin in Africa.
Oh wait,
for humans, for human people.
Yeah.
Yep, that's not the same thing. Okay, gentlemen, I need you to think deeply on this for me. At the end of the Empire Strikes Back, at the end of the Empire Strikes Back, Han Solo is put into carbonite, and there's a fan theory out there that the events of Indiana Jones are nothing more than Han Solo's dreams while he's in carbonite.
Oh my God! Really?
On a scale of 1 to 10,
be kicked in the freaking. I'm sorry. I'm trying to work. Sorry. Look, I loved Saint Elsewhere. Remember Saint Elsewhere?
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, this 5 seasons of medical cool people, doctors. Yeah.
Right.
And it's cool.
Yeah. 5 seasons of medical cool.
Series. It was like a bunch of seasons, and it turned out to be an autistic child dream. Really?
Yeah.
But to your point, though, it would explain how Indiana Jones really had no effect on the plot of the movie at all.
This is true.
That is true.
Yeah, that is a plot point that if you take Indiana Jones out, the effect remains. They take the Ark to the island, they open it, and all the Nazis die.
Yeah, and if you take Shia LaBeouf out, you might get a better movie.
Well, that was
just like Jar Jar Binks.
But that's I can't go there.
Are you not a Crystal Skull fan, Dave?
No,
you don't like Shia LaBeouf?
I think that was a much better.
I'm just gonna.
I'd rather
Dave
take
would
Jar
still
Jar
like to
Binks
be
out
in
of
it.
Star Wars.
See, I'm with you there. I would rather take Jar Jar out of Star Wars too.
Here's the thing. If you've got a really good franchise, right? First off, don't change your producers. Second off, don't change your directors. There's a reason it's a really good franchise.
And don't let a meth head write your screenplay.
Well, there's that too. But yeah, it's I mean,
not saying I don't know who this.
It's just common sense.
Yeah, that's good advice.
Yeah, no, that's just common knowledge. Don't let a method right. But you know what? I really my favorite part about this whole question.
Nazi hating adventurer who's robbing. I mean, he's literally stealing the world. But I mean, the British did. If you've ever been to the British Museum, basically it's full of the British stole from around the world.
Yeah.
They should have guarded it better.
Ben Abbott for the win.
Yeah, there's a comedian that talks about that they just have at the British Museum, it's stuff that other people from around the world took, and they're like, hey, we'd like to have that stuff back. And the people at the British Museum were like, no, we're still looking at it.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah, I got to say, my favorite part about this question about the carbonite dream is how incensed Dave Baker got over the entire topic.
Okay, that's enough. Is that your top one most hated fan theory, or are there more?
What's that?
Is that your top most hated fan theory, or are there more?
Who, mine?
Yeah.
You guys have like 3 hours.
Okay, well, it's not fan theory. It's bad sequel.
Okay.
Highlander 2.
Ew, that didn't happen.
There could only be one.
Yeah, but there wasn't. There
And
was a
3.
shitload. And Highlander 2. Okay, so Highlander 3 just pretends that Highlander 2 didn't happen.
We all do.
And that's not reinventing. That's like ignoring. That's not right.
But at least they made the TV series to make up for it.
Well, yeah, but that didn't make any sense. Then they brought the guys from the movie back into the TV series to make more movies, which is like you constantly are erasing the thing that you set up.
It's a money thing.
My least favorite fan theory is that Mr. Smith is the real Mr. Smith, the guy from the Matrix.
Oh yeah.
That he's the real chosen one. Because he's the one that made like the whole Matrix to completely like change the Matrix and without him, none of that would have happened. Neo was just kind of playing along.
I wonder if that is so. The Matrix 4, they have announced that the trailer is coming out, I think, in a couple of weeks. So I wonder if that's going to be the plot. Yeah.
The Matrix 4, they just had.
Okay, returning to Han Solo in carbonite. Let's say you're presented with Han Solo as a carbonite composite. What knife do you forge out of his remains?
That's right.
To best do him justice or honor?
Good question.
A rainbow lightsaber.
Scottish basket hilt? Duh.
Come on.
Oh, my gosh. Wow.
I would make a lightsaber all the colors of the rainbow.
Oh, there you go.
How many blades?
What's that? A rainbow lightsaber?
Yeah. What, you don't have any pride, Dave? Come on.
How many blades are there?
On the rainbow lightsaber?
Yeah. Is it a single or is it a dual bladed?
Shoot off like rockets.
Or they're
Yeah,
72?
It's like all of them.
Does it have a laser guard?
Yeah. It's like you're standing inside of a sea
Hold
urchin.
on. Not a laser cross guard, laser basket hilt.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nailed it.
Yes.
But
Yes.
mine would be
Beskar. Wait, hold on. Wait. I got this. Is a good thing. This is good.
How is this a good thing?
Beskar basket hilt with a laser blade.
I think it's past.
How is that? That. No, seriously.
No, that's
Man,
true. Punch somebody with a laser
Let's
basket
say
hilt.
don't cut Beskar's. I'm there.
You guys say, oh, gee, Rick. Oh, gee, Dave, it's too late. I got school
I'm
tomorrow.
doing it. I'm making it. It's on.
All right, well, you can make it, and maybe they'll use it in season 3 of The Mandalorian.
Shut up, Grady.
Right, a friend of mine's the actually stunt coordinator on Mandalorian.
Yeah.
So
I would
I'm
like
gonna
to
work
claim
on this.
some intellectual property only so that I end up with a prototype of the laser basket hilt.
Okay.
I'm down. I've got to make this.
Oh, you're still on. I was like, whose mouth is moving?
Yeah, I'm so. I don't know who. Was that Ben? Who's
No, that was,
frozen?
it was Matt.
We're actually sitting here watching you on our phone, and I don't have my glasses on, so I can't actually see it.
Yeah,
So if
he took his glasses off to tell us that if somebody made these glasses, they get to determine if they're still alive, how much they're worth, and then he set them down. And now Dave is figuring out how much those glasses are worth to him after he used them.
These glasses got scratched on this side, but I repolished them, so I can see out of this eye. But this is useless.
Just blur.
You know what I think would be even better than a laser basket hill would be a laser laundry basket. It like dries the laundry.
Ooh.
Yeah.
What did I miss?
Ben is coming up with a laser laundry basket that dries the laundry for you once you put it in.
Yeah, it'd be much more useful than a laser basket hill.
Okay,
Yeah,
last.
but your laser laundry, all your clothes would be shredded.
I don't like that one either.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
You got to
Put your
control
clothes in
the laser, Dave. It's not
Yeah.
be full on
Laundry
all the
after?
time.
Okay, one of our last questions
Oh
of
my
controlled
goodness.
rowdiness.
Here we go.
This is a question for Ben. When you get a hangnail, what weapon do you use to take it out?
My incisors.
That's fair.
Will they cut?
Yeah, but you should see
That's
it when
not
he's
my
got
line.
his foot in his mouth.
Yeah, that's the hangnails I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that is going to end up on Wiki
You
Feet now.
blast those mercilessly, and then they end up on
my son
Wiki
can get
Feet.
both his feet in his mouth right now. It's so cool.
Yeah.
That's not a talent I have any longer.
You want to see more of that? Go to Ben's OnlyFans.
All right, Grady, we're going to round it out with you. If you could say any one thing to Forged in Fire fans, what would you tell them?
If I could tell one thing to any Forged in Fire fan or all
Yeah,
the
the
Forged in
whole
Fire
Yeah,
fans,
if you're gonna end us with this question. If you could say one thing to any Forged in Fire fans, what would you say to them?
I don't need you, Whiskey Man.
Hey, don't tell them that.
I don't need you, Whiskey Man. You heard it here first.
The Whiskey Man's trying to tell me things. To be
Daddy
like,
Whiskey.
It's not funny. It's not anything. Honestly, thank you. Thank you for the chance, for the time, for sticking with it, because our ratings have not dumped, even through them hating me. So, thanks for the opportunity and for paycheck.
Well,
Yeah, that's what I was telling him is I need the money. So
well,
keep
Ben,
watching.
Ben Abbott, Grady Powell, Forge Daddy, thank you guys so much for being on the show tonight. We appreciate it.
A salute to all of you. Thank you.
Guys,
thanks for
hey,
having me.
once again, it's been a pleasure. From the first time you guys had me on, it was a joy, and that's why we keep coming back. And keep doing what you do, all right?
So this is the part where we
Grady
normally...
Powell, Ben Abbott, and David freaking Lane.
Lane.
And Noam Chomsky.
Noam Chomsky was not on the show for all of those who are listening.
But what is the difference?
A lot. That's just a whole lot. So, man, what a weird, bizarre hour.
I never would have thought. The first time that I watched Forge and Fire on an American Airlines flight.
You could have stopped just there.
Yeah, I never would have thought.
End of statement.
So I haven't.
So on the American Airlines flight many years ago, I came across this little show where they play with swords and they make them. I was like, this is really cool that we'd have them on.
Yeah.
That would eventually have a show that they come on and we'd get to talk to them. It's awesome.
And for people who are wondering, like, why did we have David Baker back on so soon?
Because he's freaking awesome and we'll take him whenever.
Also, this was his idea.
Yeah.
That was the best part about the whole thing is he was like, you know what? I should come back on the show and we should get Grady and Ben to come on too. I was like, man, that would be awesome. And then it just kind of floated out there. And then last week he sent us a message and was like, hey, does next Tuesday work for y'all? Because we're about to wrap up shooting. We're like, of course it does.
Yes.
Like we're not going to say no to that. So that's why we had him back on. It was an absolute blast. It was just like hanging around a campfire.
I get
with a
another
bunch of
trophy
dudes.
for my wall of things that people have said to me.
And
although it's probably going to be bleeped out.
I get
I'm
another,
sure it's gonna be bleeped out.
I get another like, half hour to hour and a half of editing to to do specifically for this
so much
episode.
fun, man.
We did learn some cool stuff though. We learned what Ben's favorite sword was. We got to talk to Grady a little bit about how he handled the haters, which I thought he continued to handle with a lot of grace.
We snuck in more sci-fi talk
we
with
did
Rick and
sneak in
Morty
some more
and
sci-fi
Star Wars.
talk. Yeah.
And Indiana Jones.
Yep. And we were able to push a couple of Dave's buttons whenever we brought up Indiana Jones.
Oh, fan theories! I hate
man.
fan theories, but I do love fans of Forge and Fire.
And we and I think we got to give a little bit of an education to Ben and Grady about Dave, which was which was a little bit of fun.
Yeah. By the way, there are a lot of questions we didn't get to.
Oh man, so many things
on the cutting floor, just because I didn't want to ask 29 questions about statements, I guess.
And each one of those guys deserves their own episode.
Sure.
Well,
after this,
yeah, maybe. I mean, I want to
intros
talk
are
to,
done. Friends had been made.
I want to talk to Grady
Mysteries
about
revealed.
some of the stuff that happened whenever he was a Ranger.
Yep.
And then, or sorry,
Green
when he was
Beret.
a Green Beret, right? And not just that, but like what, without getting political, like how does he view everything that's happening now?
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty intense. And then with Ben, I was just really pleased with how candid he was. Talking about his first day on Forged in Fire, and he said, well, they didn't really throw him into wolves. Yes, they did. Like, he tried to dress it up like they didn't really throw him to the wolves.
Yeah.
Putting him in front of 5 guys that would have been his peers in competition just a few months earlier and saying, tell one of them to go home and what's wrong with their knife, while all of the guys that had been judging him are standing behind him now. Yeah, they totally threw him to the wolves.
Yep.
But he's a phenomenal judge, and he has a ton of character to the show. And we finally were able to get nailed down what his accent is.
Yes. That was a great question. I had never thought of that. Because I'd always kind of wondered, but I never really thought that, to Matt's point, I never thought.
Yeah.
But also, in the future, we will find out if Ben and I are truly friends.
Yeah, to see whether or not he says
exterminate.
What we might get, though, is just like a little video that on somebody's Instagram of him saying exterminate in the Forge. I'd be happy
I don't
with
need
that.
it to make the cut. He's not got no control over that.
No, he needs to just take that video.
I just want to know if we're friends.
Post it on his Instagram and then tag us in it, and that'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know how people have like a little secret, when they go on the news and they pull on their ear and that's me saying hi or, I love you. I'm not saying that.
Like,
we're not going there.
Like
okay?
David
I know
Gant,
he's into the
like
pride stuff, but
David
we're not.
Gant and Kelly Campbell typed
Yes.
143 for I love you on
Yes.
on their pagers.
Yes, just like from the movie Masterminds.
Yep. And from the real story of David Gant.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which just came out probably.
Yeah. Last week.
Yeah.
Or sometime. Hey,
Whenever
thank
it
you
is.
guys for watching, for
Last
checking
week,
out another
Monday.
episode of The Reverend and the Reprobate. Do make sure to like and subscribe. If you are listening on Apple Podcasts or on Podchaser, it would do us so much good if you would leave us a review. Not just to rate us, but also to leave us a little review. It helps to boost us in the ratings, but it also shows people that the people that are listening enjoy the show. And if you don't enjoy the show, rate us anyway so that we can fix whatever it is that you hate about it.
Give us 5 stars and tell us what you want to see us change.
Yep. That sounds good to me. All right, for the Reverend and the Reprobate, I've been
Next
Reverend,
week, the Reverend.
Dave, yeah,
After our
Grady and I go for a walk. Matt, thanks for holding down the fort with us. Colton, sure, thank
Colton,
you,
tell
as
us
always.
your trick.
Nope. All right, we'll see you guys next week.
Hello, this is Ben Abbott, Judge on Forged in Fire on the History Channel. And this is another good reason why you should never listen to the Reverend and the Reprobate.
This is Grady Powell, host of Forged in Fire on the History Channel, and this is exactly why you should not listen to the Reverend and the Reprobate.
Hey, this is Dave Baker. Don't listen to these. Absolutely crazy. I mean, I'm so embarrassed that I'm here. I can't. I mean, I did this once, and somehow they wrote me back into it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Just cut. I gotta go.
All right, Dave Baker, take 2.
I think he's taken enough.
No, seriously, this is why I love these guys. Listen to the Reverend and the Reprobate. They're over the top. They ask the best freaking questions, and they probably ended my career. And I love it.
I have a question for Dave. Dave, did you just say farking?
What?
I think you might have.
Like broken me.
Did you just say the best farking question?
Parking? Is that LARPing?
We'll review the tape, and then we've got Ben's email now, so we'll send it over.
Ben, if you will attack at some point George and say exterminate, I'll know that we're truly friends.
I'll yell it. Exterminate.
Yes.
Perfect.
No.
There we
that's
go.
not how you say it.
How do you say it?
Yeah.
Can you give us one?
Say it?
I don't even know if I can get that high anymore.
I can.
Exterminate.
Perfect. That's it.
Like